I thought I'd do a quick video on a DAC I've had for some time. I actually haven't used it, but I'm going to dig it out and, well, I dug it out to use it. And it's going to go in the basement of my ski chalet. Hook it into the TV and the speakers that are down there. So this is a Cambridge Audio Dacmagic Plus, I think is what it's called. And it is a basic DAC. You've got your choice. Right now we're on USB input. We've got two other digital inputs, and then we've got a external, which is Bluetooth actually, aptX. And this will handle, won't do DSD. It'll handle 24-bit 384 though. So I mean, short of DSD, it'll handle pretty much anything you want. Filters, you have two choices. Fairly simple. Same with the inputs. You'll notice we don't have a balanced output. We just have a phone. This technically is built as a DAC. You do have some volume control. It doesn't really have a powerful amp. Having said that, I was just listening to my Blackwoods on it, which are as hard to drive a headphone as any. Right, they're your Fostex T50RP, I think it is, rebuilt. So they take a ton to drive. Now, I wasn't driving them off the 1/4 inch. Actually, I should show you the inputs on the back of this. Let me unplug it. So it's got a wall wart for a plug too. Standard, nothing oversized, too big, nothing crazy. All right. So here's what we have going on here. And so you can see we've got, these are my outputs. We've got two RCA, then XLR. Then we have our other standard inputs and outputs. I can't read them from where I am, so I'm just going to take a quick look. Okay. Never understood this stuff, but digital outputs, coaxial, optical. Digital inputs, coax, optical, coax, optical. And then USB. Lastly, we've got a USB bulb, which is a Bluetooth aptX built into it, right? Well, actually, it's technically it's an add-on. I think it's $100, and you ordered it separately. So, strictly speaking, I like it, or always have. It's got some issues I don't like. So what I've got going on here doesn't have a balanced headphone output. So what I've got is a 4-pin balanced connector going into XLRs. And with that, it can drive my Blackwoods to a mid-level, comfortable level, not to a loud level. That's for certain. So now this does upsampling. Never did get a very good reviews. I liked it nonetheless. At the time, I liked the fact that it had Bluetooth, which I shun these days and don't use. But at the time, I was using Bluetooth and wasn't into as high res as I am now. So it's a worthwhile DAC. You know, it runs Wolfson chips, 8740s or 30s. I can't remember. It's so many acronyms ago. But a good chip, a very good chip. I like its sound. A lot of people will say it's a little harsh, a little sibilant. I don't find so. Not at all. Doesn't have a lot of power. It really is truly just a DAC. You can plug your headphones into it and you have some control over your volume and so on and so forth. But and you can push average cans with it. And you can, certainly push any IEMs or anything you want like that. And if you want, there are ways around it to get a balanced hookup on the back, which, is great. Would I buy one again? The price point on it was really quite cheap. You got Bluetooth. You don't have a remote. So your downside is, your downsides, it's getting to be old technology. You don't have a remote. Although you really only have two buttons on the front of it, but to have a choice. Oh yeah, your volume button, when you push and hold it in, will change your your output mode, whether you're putting it, pass through or so on and so forth, or whether you want to have control with your volume bot or not. Well, I don't know. It doesn't excite me anymore. For the right price point, it's a nice little DAC. But that right price point these days, because you have so much coming along that is so good. But it is a good DAC. There really is nothing wrong with it. But you'd have to pick one up for a steal, because nowadays you have so many options, and they're all so slick and so good. And this does, well, it doesn't do DSD, but that's about it. And it has great sound, and it's got a lot of input options on the back there, right? We've got two different opticals, two different coaxials, USB. You've got a pass-through for your digital as well, which I've never used on anything, but I could see there could be a need. Anyway, it's a good product. Now, having said that, it doesn't weigh anything, relative to the new stuff I've got, which has got machined aluminum blocks and all this other stuff. This is pretty lightweight. But would I buy another one? Yeah, if the price was right, and if I had a need for it or a fit for it, certainly there is nothing wrong with it at all. And the sound is fantastic. And I've always really liked the Wolfson chips. They've always been great. So I think that's about all I got to say for it. If you liked it, hit like and hit subscribe. That's all. Thanks.